Romanian prolog is over and it's day one out in the forests. The competitors have an hour-long drive out to the starting point of Rau Vadului in the epic Carpathian Mountains. And here I run into a small problem. The organisers make it a tricky process if you want to run a helmet cam. And since I don't know anybody running a helmet cam, I am going to substitute footage from a 2-day ride we did prior to the event.
Try that again, I think.
We are on board with Les, who has not only completed Romaniacs in bronze class in recent years, but he's also involved in running a hard Enduro event back in New Zealand. Our tour guide from Carpathian Adventures can provide routes ranging from easy to difficult. Today we want to see what riding bronze is like, so he's taking us on trails typical of bronze class.
Woo! This is where it gets interesting. Yep, she's all gone now.
Carpathian Adventures are based in a small village near Sibiu, and after only 2 minutes we are straight into a long hill climb. Immediately it's tougher than I realised. Everyone is riding 2019 KTM 300s, fitted with either mousses or TUbliss. I'm a late addition to the tour, so I'm riding a borrowed bike with tubes, pumped up to 15 psi. So this should be a fun challenge after running such low pressures back at home. Lugging the engine, along with plenty of clutch slipping, usually gets some traction on these climbs. Under the dead leaves are roots, sticks, clay, and all sorts of things you can't see. Momentum is definitely your friend in these conditions.
And of course this is where so much of the fun is. You need to pivot turn uphill but over tree roots. It's like the devil. I can't even walk up it. It's the devil's playground.
The guides throw a tougher hill climb at us for anybody game to try. Momentum, momentum, momentum. I decide to give it a try, but I back off slightly when I see someone coming down, and it's all over.
Oh, bugger. No, you're cool, mate. I thought I can film you going down if you can get past.
The downhills can be sketchy too if you can't see under the leaf litter. Romaniacs isn't all hard, slow terrain, of course. If you've seen previous events, you'll see that even the gold class riders get to do a lot of open flowing tracks, especially when you get above the tree line. In fact, a friend of mine who entered bronze a few years ago was a bit disappointed there was so much fast open terrain. preferred the challenge of technical tracks where less speed also means less chance of major injury. Incredibly dark in some of these forests. And the climbs and descents just keep occurring throughout the day. Most of these tracks would be iron class, but according to our guides, there are enough tricky climbs to bump our ride up into the bronze category. While it has rained recently, the grip isn't too bad. But if it rained a lot, then certain tracks here would be a lot harder.
All good?
When you emerge from the trees, you feel as though you can speed up, but the ground is still very rough under the grass and it's easy to be thrown off the bike suddenly.
$10, I'll delete this footage.
$50, will you keep it? I'd make it more than $10.
$50, I'll keep it. Yep. You're on.
The views, simply staggering.
Wow.
And we hit peaks like this about 5 times every day. It's certainly one of the many advantages of doing a tour instead of doing the race. Being able to soak in the incredible scenery and take your time. What goes up must come down. We start off slowly just to take in the view. But eventually the speed picks up and you really need to stay on your toes as it doesn't take much to kick the front wheel out. Told myself not to crash and get injured on the very first day. But on a steep downhill I stopped paying attention and the front wheel washed out on a small rut. And my ribs and shoulder were sore for the next week.
Hey, Nutley. Apparently we've got to watch out for some of those sheepdogs. They can really go for you.
Shepherd's huts at this altitude. They stay up here in the warmer months with their flocks and then back to the villages during the winter.
There are some of them now. Apparently they don't bite you, but they will really come up and scare the shit out of you. This one looks quiet though.
I look back at this footage now and wonder why we all felt so beaten up at the end of each day.
Yeah! Yeah!
Admittedly, most of us are between 40 and 60 years of age, but when you are riding most of the day, wow, it really takes it out of you. I can see why fitness and endurance are so important if you want to attempt all 5 days of the Romaniacs event. even in the relatively easy iron and bronze classes. You come to appreciate all those open flowing tracks as a chance to recuperate before the next climb or steep descent. Hope you enjoyed the ride, guys. Plenty more Romanian vids on the way. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Graham Jarvis on taking the lead for day 1 of Romaniacs. Keep it up, son. Us old fellas are rooting for you.